Coleman here. I thought with getting close to my birthday, which means it's also getting close to Anzac Day because my birthday is like only a few days before Anzac Day, I thought it'd be a good opportunity to talk about the influence of war poetry, or particularly trench poetry, on my second novel, The Old Lie. And I'm also going to read the poem that most influenced the novel. Here's my second novel, The Old Lie, if you haven't read it. It's a retelling of the maltreatment of black diggers in World War Two, well, after World War Two and World War One, and it combines literary fiction and the poetry of soldiers with science fiction. So the name comes from a Wilfred Owen poem called Doc et Decorum Est. Now, that poem is an incredibly strong influence on the style of the novel. I worked on the novel with that poem in mind at all times. It frames the narrative and it set the style of the work. And I thought I would read you from that poem. I've got this lovely book here. It's from Folio Society called Anthem for Doomed Youth, which is also another Wilfred Owen poem and also an influence on The Old Lie. And people often ask me why it's called The Old Lie, and it comes from this poem called Doce et Decorum Est by Wilfred Owen. Bent double, like old beggars under sacks, knock-kneed, coughing like hags, we cursed through sludge, till on the haunting flags we turned our backs, and towards our distant rest began to trudge. Men marched to sleep. Many had lost their boots, but limped on, bloodshot. All went lame, all blind. Drunk with fatigue, deaf even to the hoots of gas shells dropping softly behind. Gas! Gas! Quickly, boys! An ecstasy of fumbling, fitting the clumsy helmets just in time. But someone was still yelling, out and stumbling, and floundering like a man in fire or lime. Dim through the misty panes and thick green light, as under a green sea, I saw him drowning. In all my dreams, before my helpless sight, he plunges at me, guttering, choking, drowning. If in some smouldering dreams you too could pace behind the wagon that we flung him in, and watch the white eyes writhing in his face, his hanging face like devils sick of sin, you could hear at every jolt the blood come gargling forth from froth-collected lungs, obscene as cancer, bitter as the cud, of vile incurable sores on innocent tongues. My friend, you would not tell with such high zest to children ardent for some desperate glory, the old lie, doce et decorum est, pro patria mori. Now, the Latin phrase at the end of that means, essentially, it is beautiful and glorious to die for your country. And Wilfred Owen did die for his country. He was shot crossing a canal a week before armistice in World War Two. Sorry, World War One. I always get him mixed up with World War Two. He died a week before Armistice Day. And the story goes that his mother received the news that he was dead as the bells rang out to announce the end of the war. So that poem was a strong influence on my novel, The Old Lie, as was the story of my own family, or my own grandfather, who went to war, and when he returned, he would not have been treated with the same equal treatment as his comrades in war. Aboriginal soldiers in WA after World War II were not given soldiers' settlement land, were not given soldiers' pension, were not treated the same as other soldiers, were not allowed to join the RSL. And when I visited my grandfather's grave in 2015, it was unmarked. It did not have the soldier's memorial that he would have wanted and certainly deserved. So that is why I wrote The Old Lie, and that is the poem that was the strongest influence on the style of the old lie. And thank you for listening to my video, watching my video. Subscribe, click the subscribe button, then you'll know if I'm coming up with more videos soon. And my t-shirt of the day, Black Rock Band. Look them up. They're a great band from basically from Kakadu National Park. They are an Indigenous band. The lead singer is from the Gunawinku speaking peoples, a rock-ish, reggae-ish band, who have family ties to another famous Aboriginal band, Nabalek. I'll try and do videos at least once a week. So if you want more, please subscribe.